speaking of Instagram, I've noticed, there's a lot of people that are photographers, and there's a lot of, artworks or pieces of content that can come across very dull and very static, lacking originality, because people have tutorial videos on edits or Instagram filters.
Mm.
But your style of photography continues to excite me, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, because of your use of color palettes and makeup. And I wanted to know, what is the source of inspiration that gives your work that unique quality?
I think at its core, I would say a lot of the eccentric colors and exaggerated compositions really stems from things I see in anime. I watch a lot of anime, and I watch it as an anime nerd for personal reasons. And then
Right.
I watch certain things because it's just so well done, and it's in a way that I would rather personally pull from something fantastical that isn't real that I can channel versus, recreating a reference or a fashion reference or another photographer's work. And for me, I found that the way that I've remained trend setting versus trend riding is from where my references come from. So that's a really important thing. I think in general, because your first instinct is to compare yourself to another photographer or filmmaker. You're going to go on Instagram, you're going to look at somebody else, you're going to look at their feed and either recreate it or create it in the way that you wish worked for you. And for myself, I stopped doing that. I actively make an effort to not do that. And I look at the things that excite me and stimulate me, and I use those as my references. So I'll have a creative meeting with art directors, and usually mood boards are put together from Pinterest with lots of different references,
Right.
which I do, but I'd like to include raw ingredients to me of just total, all the way there, fantastical creativity.
What do you mean by raw? Like the snapshot maybe of a location?
A color palette from a book like this.
Cool.
And compositionally too. Let's say literally, I like how these two models are interacting.
Right.
And I'll keep these as raw ingredients for my compositions. That's what I mean. Something that's not blended into what the purpose is yet for why I'm being hired. So I have all kinds of references for group shots and for body composition and colors and stuff. And then what ends up happening is I'll create those things on real people, and you end up with stuff that's a lot more down this road where it's hyper pigmented and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And versus if I just picked something from a Gucci campaign and say, oh, we're going to recreate this. And that's somebody already made that from their references. So I don't want to take their references and then just put my own spin on what they did. I want to introduce my own play into that. So if I was going to shoot a Gucci campaign, for example, I'd go to a meeting with one of these and I'd be like, this is what I want to pull from.
Yeah.
And that's why I get hired, for that kind of perspective, right?
Right. Of course. Yeah. Well, it's a very unique perspective. You're coming from a place where it's motivated by your own passions. And that's why, back to the creative fees, you're integrating something that's very unique that they can't find in someone else. If they were to hire me, I wouldn't pull from anime. I would pull from films that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a very different dynamic. And then that all is a matter of whoever the client is, what their preference is, right? Their taste.